We're live.
All right. I'd like to call to order the budget committee meeting of Wednesday, June 9th, 2021 at 6:30 p.m. And roll call. Mr. Ippolito and Mr. Predis are absent. Mr. Lafreniere? No, okay. If he jumps on, just give me a signal. Okay. Thanks. Approval of the agenda.
Move it.
Second, sorry.
All
I
in
got a
favor?
work text.
It's okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay.
Just me and you.
Yeah. Do we, approval of the minutes, which are, we have the minutes?
Yeah.
That's, oh, okay, they're separate.
I'll move it.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. That was approved. Excellent. Okay, anybody from the public on? All right, give me a signal if somebody joins. Thank you. Discussion next steps. Monthly financials. How are we looking,
Okay.
Mr. Aaron?
Yep, if you look at page 1 and 2 first, right now on those accounts, we have a surplus of $773,897, which is down from last month, but there are a couple of changes that will be made during this month. We're waiting for our final disposition on the sanitizer.
Oh, okay.
Yes, so we're waiting for that check. So that should be an increase of 150,000.
Okay. Got it. So should be up 150.
Correct.
Increased.
Increased, yeah.
Yes.
So that would be
925
920.
or 950. Yeah, 925.
Yeah, 923. All right. Sounds good. Go ahead.
I feel like I've asked this a couple times and apparently it doesn't stick. We can roll. Can we go to the city that keeps some of that?
You can, the board can encumber funds before the end of the year. They do not have, we tried once a couple of times, there is a law, 2%, and you can put it in a fund, but they have never given us that permission.
Okay. Those
So-
are two separate things.
Correct.
Encumber and then,
Correct.
okay.
There may be some items that we will encumber, and you'll know about it.
Yes, okay.
Again, give them back some money, as we did last year, because they, what?
Mr. Lafreniere joined us.
They asked us, and we did give them back $993,000. Last year, they asked us to do that. Because we knew, because of COVID, remember, tuition, transportation, so forth.
But in theory, we could potentially encumber some of this
Correct.
to put towards
As long as,
capital projects?
correct. As long as we
Right.
have the bidding process done. We could go to the city and ask them to put aside some money. I don't know if they would ever do that, because we don't have all the bids as of June 30th.
Right.
Because they're not obligated to put our surplus into their fund balance, right? They can do kind of whatever they want with it.
Correct.
Right.
Last year, that
Yeah.
we did put the money into their
Fund balance.
fund balance.
Once you return it, it's in there.
Right, so they could
use that.
allocate it for capital, or they
Correct.
could put it in there. Okay.
It was never done before. It could be done.
Right.
We can ask.
Yes, yes. If you go to page,
Wait, hold on a
I'm sorry.
second. Does anybody else have any questions on that?
the other thing is, just so you know, on unemployment, we fought them on a number of issues, which was one, got a letter of credit. Thank you there. So It's amazing because every time Kim fights because of a thing that happened with a number of employees, they keep on giving us credits. So we may have more surplus than the 50,000 waiting to the end of the end of the year. Again, we pay our checks, even though it's July 1, and it could be July 15, we usually close the books around the 20th of July.
Right.
So if we write a check from July 1 to July 20th, it's dated June 30th. Because it's all encumbered. So just want to let you know that's done all the time, especially it. And then whatever's left in that encumbrance goes into a separate fund. So during the year, we write checks against that. Let's say, because we know that Shipman and Goodwin, they never come in on time, their bills. So sometimes we're paying that bill in August, but that money is set aside. So we have another account that the city has. So we do that.
So it's appropriated for the correct year.
Correct. And sometimes we pay it later on, it depends upon when we get the bills to us. That money's set aside for those things. The next one on page 3 and 4 gives you the total of everything. Again, with the cafeteria expenditure 278, remember that's because approximately 1,200 kids did not take their food because they were online and so forth. So again, last year we had to cover 400,000 for the cafeteria because as of March, no food.
Yeah.
We had to pay the employees and everything. Right.
Yeah, secondary was still on hybrid, then we switched. Finally, when we went all in person, our numbers got better.
Again, if that's the bottom line, if you had another 150,000 for that 681, that would be the overall surplus.
Got it. Any questions on that? Did Mr. Lafreniere leave us?
No, I think he's still there.
Oh, okay. Oh, there he is. Okay.
I'm eating dinner, sorry.
Oh, okay, all right. Okay. Nobody has any questions?
The next is special ed tuition. We're still doing, under 300,000. In that account.
Okay.
Back at the front, it's 347,000.
Yep.
Surplus. Again, hopefully all those bills will be paid by June because the school is out and they send us the bills. Take care of that.
Okay.
Again, there were 16 children. This time it was 8 and 8. 8 kids left before the end of the year. 8 kids came in before the end of the year. So we have 8 kids who could have started September and left in December or January. We have kids who came in November and
Right.
stayed until June. We have some kids who just stayed there 25 days, so we count all of them. So it was 8 right now.
Got it.
Again, the next one is that out of district, that's where we get those double counts sometimes because child may leave a district, one school and go to another, or they just leave, we still have to count them because we paid that, whatever it is, 60 days, 100 days, and so forth. We're still down from last year. Here's the totals. Just so you know, we're getting in, the VOAG schools are getting better this year. They're giving us because we gave them in November a letter stating you only had X number of kids for freshmen. they're getting smarter, especially Region 6. They've sent us all financial data for those kids already. We always ask them for it, so they've sent us ahead of time. And some kids are dropping out and not going there or coming back to our schools.
Okay.
So again, in November, they'll send them a letter. As of the last 3 years, here's your total for ninth graders. We have an average of those. And as you can see at the bottom, what's been actual for the last 2 years and what's projected this year. So
You provide that in November for like the following year, right?
correct, they get the
So
number.
they
They can, we had an argument,
Discussion.
a discussion, yes, thank you.
Pointed discussion.
Pointed discussion, yes, with a number of kids.
Passionate discussion.
Passionate discussion, yes. So it was funny because it was, the average came to 5.3. So I wrote to them, you got 5 kids. They didn't like that, so they went to the state. The state says, well, they got 6 kids. So,
Okay.
so. You know.
Rounded, right?
Yes, I always thought, right?
That's how regional school boards make their money. Is
So, again, the law hasn't changed, so it's the last 3 years, the average, the ninth graders for the last 3 years. And we are, before I leave, I'll be setting up that we send again, because they don't like it. We do send it 10th and 11th and 12th graders, those children,
Resident
residency.
Yeah.
They
confirmation.
say we're not supposed to, but we send it anyway.
To confirm.
Correct, yes.
Can we do that for all like,
Not the, the magnets
No.
come automatically to us and we,
oh, okay.
yes. But it's not the VOAG. They said, well, you did it the ninth grade, why should you do it 10? Well, you don't.
Yeah, you don't know.
So we do it. They don't like it.
What's our policy to do it for all children?
Yes.
Yeah, you just confirm the address every year.
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah. We found a couple, you know.
Yeah, did, you said, who says we're not supposed to?
There's a state law that says, well, this, I shouldn't say that, I'll get back to
Yeah.
you. They always say to us, well, you do it for the ninth grade, that's all you need to do.
Oh, that's all you need to do, okay.
We need to do more.
It doesn't mean you can't.
Right, and that's
Yes.
what, that's what I'm
Right,
trying to say.
right.
Why
It's a
wouldn't you-
minimum.
Why wouldn't you not be able to?
Right.
which of course is the same argument that they made to us about the number of students
Right.
they accept.
Right.
Is that the average is only the minimum, that they can't accept this argument
Yeah, right.
to
Correct.
benefit them.
Okay. Region 6 is getting used to it because I said they sent their stuff in already. So the residency for the ninth graders.
Yeah, no, I think it's a good policy.
Yeah. And we do it even for now, if a child, if we hear that a child moves, you know, we get on it and, you know, they gotta prove that, well, the kid's here. No, the kid's not. Social workers have been great. They go out there.
Yes.
And Erica, who's in our office, she's really great. She hounds me and then I hound her and she hounds the parents. So it's sometimes it's futile, but we keep on pounding it.
It's great.
Any questions?
Transportation?
Yeah.
Okay. Again, we're, you know, the comments down, just to let you know, we're negotiating now for credit for next year. So we're working on that, we'll have that done by the end of the year. Remember, because a couple of days, you know what I
Yeah,
mean?
oh, yeah, we were short,
Right, we didn't run all the buses, we only ran the BOAG, the Propio 7.
yeah,
So
so
they're-
4 days less, right?
Well, that was this year.
That was
But
this year.
Next year, for this year, we ran less buses during COVID because of the high school.
Oh, the hybrid
Okay,
model.
the hybrid model.
And the middle school.
Right, so we're working on that credit. So you will get a credit on next year's bill.
Got it.
Yeah.
I understand.
Also Also, again, when we went over the, if we don't have any more special ed transportation, we did save money on that one too. Still waiting for one more because of that whole nurse change. They need a EMT and so forth. So we're still working on that. Get somebody to do that.
Any questions? Everybody's good? Okay. Thanks.
The next one is the Long Kelly stuff. Okay.
8 and 9, right?
Just that one.
Oh,
Just
the one? Oh, okay, so trustee, okay.
So we're down to May. So if you look at the first one, the 5341, that's going to show us a surplus of approximately on our program here, on page 2, $201,000. Number 2, which is 5342, that's going to show us a surplus of $106,000. Number 3, 5340, is because it has many accounts, that one is going to be in deficit. We have of $300,000. Number 4, 534101, that's a small one that's going to show us a surplus of $9,100. Number 5, which is another small one, 512002, that's going to show us a surplus of $2,800. 534201, that's going to show us a surplus of about $25,000. The last one, 512003, about $18,000. So we will probably be almost under what it was last year, $850,000. So.
Any questions on that?
Electricity. Electricity is going to show us, we have 2 months left. We're averaging about $64,000 a month, average on all 4 months. So we're going to show a surplus. It stays the same at $64,000. Going to show a surplus of $74,520.
Okay. Have we been able to tell on the change in the lights yet?
Just the middle school, you can see
Yeah.
it's gone from 15,000 to 11,000. So
That was $4,000 more. Good.
And again, the lights at Global Wetmore, you've seen them, especially against the wall, the walls outside. It's beautiful.
Yeah.
I didn't pick it out. A woman picked it out. Okay, so I'll let you know from the energy company.
They're beautiful.
Yes, really, they did a really nice job.
Nice.
And so I called her today, don't forget to send us a bill. She says, it's gonna be $5,000. I says, $5,000? You want more? It's like she got us more rebates.
Wow.
Yeah. So all that stuff is costing us not us, the grant's paying for it. And now she's looking at a grant for the field,
Oh, okay.
okay, for the lights.
Yeah.
To change the light bulbs up there, to be energy efficient. Okay, so she's looking at that. It's really good.
Excellent. Any questions on that? Next one is natural gas.
Natural gas. Yeah, I got it. Yeah, sorry, thanks. So natural gas is an opposite. We're spending about $33,000 a month. We have 2 months left. we're gonna show a deficit of $45,000 in that account. Also,
What was last year? 1920?
1920 was 323,000. And we did about 395. Also, just let you know, remember fuel oil. Now we're at a surplus because, you know, we charge in advance. They send us the check.
Yeah.
And next year, in the budget, we reduced the price, we reduced the oil, because the price of oil that we're getting is $1.66.
Oh, okay.
I have extra in the car, so it's $1.66 we got.
Nice. And how much do we usually pre-buy?
It's usually about $70,000. Again, in advance gonna,
Yeah. Right. It'll reduce the,
right, their account too.
yeah. Got it. Any questions on that? Alright. These are the line items we just went over. All right, no questions on that, then American Rescue Act grant update.
Okay, so we have the application, and I passed out some of the detail. So we do have those 5 buckets, and it just breaks down the information a little bit more. Just a reminder in terms of safety and health strategies. We still have to show mitigation strategies. These may totally change by the time we get to the fall. However, these are based on current CDC and Connecticut DPH standards. So when you look at it, you see the universal and correct wearing of masks and physical distancing, cohorting, hand washing, cleaning, making sure that your facilities are well maintained, contact tracing, possible diagnostic and screen testing at the school site, making sure that we provide vaccinations. So, and obviously servicing our students with disabilities appropriately. So these are just some suggestions. What we've heard so far, and my call most recently as yesterday morning, was still with the masks. They are anticipating possibly the mask. They're not sure about the other pieces. Obviously, you still want to keep your facilities clean. You're still going to have to do contact tracing if someone gets sick. The state invested a lot in that diagnostic screening testing. A lot of districts aren't interested in it right now because we just don't have the cases.
Right.
When we were in January, we were really asking for this because we wanted to be able to, instead of quarantining, really having the testing. However, it just wasn't available at the time through nobody's fault. So it will be available in the fall. Obviously, it would need to be with parent permission. It just may be another mitigating factor. When we meet as a full board, I'll show you the plan. Most of the plan is opening 100% student in person as normal as possible. And all of these, even mitigating strategies may go away. Right now, there's an executive order until July 20th that all students, all staff within the school building still need to wear masks. So that's summer school, that's right now as we end school, all of those things. So we don't know what's going to happen. So we're kind of holding our breath on that. And then just so that you see the extent of the application, you see a lot more detail. And these break down the buckets further so that you see really making sure that we are addressing any unfinished learning and all the variety of different ways that we may do that. Very important to make sure that we have family and parent involvement, connecting, doing outreach in new ways, doing parent education during the summer, possibly within the community at sites or in areas that we don't normally do that, making sure that we do have EL supports for families during this time, making sure that everyone's getting professional development around making sure that we can welcome these students back. And we are offering all kinds of programs at the last SIC meeting. You saw from OTL, Sue and Maureen and Andrew went through what we're doing district-wide to address the variety of different situations and student needs. But you really see the breakdown, educational technologies, a huge part of this, making sure that we can consistently provide our one-to-one devices, very, very important. Making sure that we're addressing our students with disabilities and all of their needs. SEL services, mental health services for students and staff to support them as we come back in person with all of our students, making sure, and I know John has really been on top of this, and Ed as well, making sure that our buildings are ready. If you hopefully at some point during the summer and certainly in the fall, you'll get to see all the wonderful improvements that have happened in our schools, and they really look beautiful, probably better than ever. So once again, this is in response to all of our health crisis in the last 15, 16 months. So that's what the state and the feds are both looking for as we move forward with this application. Application is due August 16th at the full board meeting on the 21st. You'll see a draft or proposed plan that will be sent to the state on the 23rd and then posted on our website as well. And that will have had input from the community, our staff, our students, and our parents.
Just would it be possible to put universal and correct wearing of masks if current health?
I can't, this is the actual application that I gave you. So I can't
Those are the
change this.
requirements.
This is,
Those are
right,
the
these are the
requirements.
requirements.
Gotcha.
When we look at the
Sorry, yeah.
plan, yes,
For
then
our
that's
plan.
what we will do, of
Okay.
course, yep.
Yep.
And we're gonna have those different levels again, the green, the red, and the yellow, or I don't even know what colors we have now. I guess it was green, red, and yellow. Just so that we can outline what the different stages will be. And hopefully we never get to red again. Hopefully we don't even get to yellow. We're just all systems ahead and we're green and we're back to normal and it's all good.
And then, is this the same with the other grants where we can make budget modifications as we go along?
We can, which will be really helpful. And I think in some ways, Armand, you're right. We're going to probably have to do that if the mitigating strategies or whatever information we're getting from CDC or DPH changes. And I'm glad you brought that up. The plan is a living document. So even though we post it on June 23rd, it will continue to change as we get closer to, very likely, closer to the beginning of school, because then we'll have a better sense of the number of cases, positivity, anything else that's out there.
Well, and these funds are good until, June 30th, 2024, right? So the plan would, in theory, it could change pretty frequently over the next few years.
Yeah, so what they want to see is how are you mapping out for it? They want you to expend it, like you can encumber in that last year and say, okay, this is how we're going to use it. They're thinking that you're probably going to use the bulk of them in the first 2 years. And then you're kind of tapering off because they don't want you to fall off that cliff. So they actually extended it to September 2024,
okay.
but you're right, it is 2024. So it helps a little bit.
Just one more thing, just because there's been a lot of talk amongst the community about basically lessening the class sizes to half and adding more teachers and as a mitigation strategy. But there's two issues with that. One, we don't have the number of staff, and two, we physically do not have enough space
Right.
to make every
Yeah.
class 2 classes.
Unless we did school in shifts.
But if we're going back in normal.
Which increases busing. But yeah, no, I mean, really.
Right.
And,
Yeah.
and then you'd have to hire enough teachers in order to do that, which is
Right.
not gonna be possible.
Right,
For
so I
various
just,
reasons, there's not enough teachers out there.
right,
first
so
of
it's
all.
not as easy as this sounds like a
No.
great idea, but to physically make that happen would be
No.
virtually impossible for us.
Right, right. I think it'd be impossible for any school at this point, because, I mean, if you read, there's a lot of articles out there about the nationwide shortage of teachers.
Right.
You know, and it's even worse in certain areas, so I mean, you know, so that would be, you know, a huge bump in the road to get that done, that's for sure. That's just one. So, and then the cost of busing.
If you want to do that, what you get is the hybrid plan that we had
Again,
earlier, right?
Right.
That's the only way to split up the kids. So like if that was your favorite educational model,
Yeah, all right.
then we can make the class sizes smaller.
And lose the interventionist again.
Right.
right,
Yeah,
which is
exactly.
crazy,
Yeah,
yeah.
And that would only be a mitigation strategy if in fact this 3 feet, 6 feet gets mandated.
Right, the
Right.
6 feet will not be mandated
Okay.
again, unless we're truly in a pandemic, and then we'd have to go hybrid and be extreme. But they didn't even see in any of the research after that Massachusetts study
Yeah.
that 6 feet was warranted. So we'd still be 3 feet if they mandate that. But in some cases that'll be possible, in some cases, to be honest, it
Yeah.
won't, and that'll be in our plan.
Right.
You know, 3 feet when we can.
Yep.
So. You know, our schools just weren't built for a pandemic.
No.
And I think it's important that our plan is going to basically have all the measures we can do.
Right,
Yeah.
There are
right,
some
yeah.
measures we
Right.
can't.
Right.
We can't, it's impossible.
Right, exactly.
Impossible.
It's also, it seemed like the cases came from outside the school. They didn't come
Yeah.
from within
Right.
the school, even when they were 3 feet apart.
Right, which is why I
Or
think
more.
CDC and DPH are looking at that once again, especially as we start schools.
Because that wasn't specific to Torrington, that was.
It was absolutely
Universal.
nationwide. Yeah. Yes.
Even in
good
private
point.
schools, it's the same thing, when they had 6 feet and could have less kids in rooms, and it still
Yeah.
came from outside,
Came, right,
not from
exactly.
within the
Right.
school.
Well, the
Social
restrictions like weren't
interactions.
consistent because you had the same kids you were trying to cohort in the schools.
Right.
Doing extracurricular activities
exactly.
in
Right.
different cohorts
Sure.
with different right? So,
And going out to amusement parks and
Complete-
restaurants with their
Yeah.
family and going to social events
Right,
and all those other
exactly.
things. And so it's like
Yeah, no, there was,
Yeah.
yeah, there was a lot of
Dunkin'
that.
Donuts Park.
So.
Yeah.
You know, yeah, and, you know, other things, even the kids who were distance learning, playing on, you know, travel teams and stuff like that, and then, you know,
Yep.
interacting with the students and. So,
Yeah.
good to get back to normal
yeah.
Yes,
for sure.
as quickly as
As
possible.
quickly as possible.
Yep, totally agree.
Any other questions on that? Okay. COVID-19, final report.
Final report. Okay, we did get permission to move $40,000 to the sanitizers on the top. So we have received all the money, $656,108. We expended, that's the one that, I'll just show you quickly. This is the report every month. We have to give them the dates, check numbers, and everything. And the auditors are in now, they couldn't believe what we had to do to get the money. They would not give us the money. As I said, the other grant shipped us the money right away, so
It's
boggles the mind.
Yeah.
So that's the last one. That's it. COVID, bye-bye, right?
All right.
Yes.
Questions, concerns? And advanced food management service agreement approved by state.
This is the amendment 4.
Yeah.
There are, we can only have 5 amendments, and then we have to go out to bid again. Okay. So the state has approved this. We send them, just so you know how many forms we sent them.
And obviously I did sign it as well.
Not yet.
Oh, we're waiting for approval?
Yeah,
Isn't this the one that he did? Okay,
so.
we got Jeff to sign.
What?
We got Jeff to sign.
Yeah, Jeff signs it because he has to send it to us, that's why. So we have to file a lot of reports because of this, that contract renewal. We also have to file a debarment, that we're not suspension and eligibility. And then we have to file a report for that we're not doing any lobbying. Yeah, watch that, Ed, okay?
Some boards of education pay lobbyists.
Yeah, I know, but we can't, so.
No.
So those are the things that we have to sign away. And energy.
It's only lobbying if you get paid.
What?
It's only lobbying if you get paid.
Go
That's
ahead.
legal
Say that.
definition.
Do we ever
Oh, really?
review like the meals and the plans and what they provide? Because I had a couple parents reach out through the distribution, just I'd say the health of some of the food, the quality. Do we ever?
Oh, yeah,
Or
we
the-
have, the state requires it and the
Yeah.
feds to get money. Yeah, and they review all of that.
Yeah,
If there's any,
but the actual
Question.
menu, like those
yes,
types of
they
things.
set, yeah,
Okay.
they set the menu up because there's a certain quality and a number of ounces per
Right, it's very strict
vegetables and all
criteria.
that.
Really?
So that's why we have the management company doing that. But if there's any ever
Yep.
a problem, they would call us. We would, okay. We haven't,
Well, so if parents are concerned about that sort of thing, which I think is kind of
Yeah, they
Nikki's
could
point,
call us.
they should call the Board of Education
Right,
still.
right.
Okay.
Yeah, oh, yeah, definitely.
Yeah, and then we can pass that information on
Yeah.
to Becky. She's really responsive and she's in touch
Yeah.
with the state and she shares our
Yeah.
concern or information.
Or whatever it may be.
Yep.
Okay.
It was also different food that, I shouldn't say different food. When we have to ship everything, people, 320 kids who are out there, it's
Right, it makes it harder.
harder for us.
Right, yeah, you can't do the
Yes.
normal.
And then sometimes when it was vacation week, they had to pick up for a week, right?
Yeah, so you've got
So you're not-
perishable items, you have to be very careful
Right, okay.
what you give. So next year will be easier.
And again, I go into the cafeteria workers, they're unbelievable. On meat day. They are.
It's unbelievable how they perform
Right.
through this.
Especially,
COVID,
I shouldn't say
how they
all the
step
schools,
up.
Yeah,
but
for sure.
if you look at Volgo because they gotta pack all this stuff up,
Right. right.
and they're packing every day. It's in Torrington too, so it's.
But they were like, right in there, let's
Yeah,
do it, you
yeah.
know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah, and all the distributions that they've done this year, it's crazy.
It's crazy.
Just Judy Benson, who does a lot of work with a lot of our families, has actually started this program, which I thought was kind of neat, that it all the to-go meals, where she's doing classes with some of our families. Like if you get the chicken patties, like how you can make a chicken parm dinner for $3 out of the chicken patties. So it's actually really interesting and what you would add to it, and how you would cook the vegetables at a later date. It's actually really kind of cool.
Yeah,
So she gives them like a whole grocery list. She plans out what you're gonna get for the week and then provides how to make them larger dinner meals. So it was really.
wonder if we could put her in
interesting.
channel 22.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was really cool.
Yeah.
Because she said, if you go here, it will cost you $19 to make these 5 meals.
Wow,
It was actually,
that's
I thought it was
great.
really
Yeah.
interesting.
And is she, I don't know who Judy is.
She's a parent. She does a lot of, she's also a licensed therapist, and so she works a lot with our at-risk families
Okay.
through both Torrington Youth Services and some other agencies.
Okay, that's cool.
But she's a great resource for our families.
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah, so it's been really good.
Yeah, that's what
Yeah.
I'm thinking. Yeah.
I think it's an interesting
Yep,
angle.
get that out there.
Any other questions? No? Everybody's good? All right, topics for future meetings.
Windows.
No, that's the other.
That's Gary.
Monthly financials. ARAGU,
No, we just call it ARP
ARP,
or ARPA.
ARPA,
Yeah,
ARPA.
yeah, exactly.
American Rescue Act.
Plan Act, yes,
Yeah, Plan
right.
Act. Grant update. We're done with COVID-19
Yeah.
report, right?
It's gone.
Okay.
Yay.
But,
Thank you, Ed.
yeah, no,
Yes.
Thank you.
we still have, God willing, we don't have it again. Because the kids were really good in bringing their own masks. We still
Yes.
have a ton of masks, which is, you know,
Might
We'll
need
save
them
them.
in September for
Yeah,
like
yeah.
flu season, just.
Yeah.
run
Yeah,
away.
yeah.
Oh,
so
for
we,
flu.
the bus
Honestly,
company
yeah,
has,
offer
we
them
gave the
to
bus
them.
company, they have them. And I see a couple of kids who forgot and they
Yeah.
Yeah.
passed the bus and they give it up, so we still have a, which I hope we don't use.
Anything else that's gonna come across our meeting coming up? No? Okay. Anybody else from the committee?
Because we'll do a special meeting when they send our budget back to us from the city, right? Yeah.
That'll be a full board.
Full board.
Okay, so it's not gonna even come
So
here.
now
No.
that I got
It'll be
confirmation this afternoon that they're definitely gonna set it on the 15th,
Okay.
we're gonna try to have a special meeting on the 16th, provided we don't have any school events that night.
Okay.
So
Okay.
you can
Might
check
have to do
another.
the 17th. You might have to do the 17th. I'll have to check. I'll let you know.
Yeah, so we'll send something out because we're also trying to get the time.
Okay.
2 days in advance.
All right. That's it. Anybody else has anything else for a future meeting? Okay, good. Something else will come up, so fill the spots. Comments for the good of the order. We'll start to my right this time.
Great meeting, 2 in a row.
Oh, good, thank you.
All good.
It's Judy Dillard, not Judy Benson.
Okay.
Yes, I was thinking of our own.
Yeah,
special-
that's what I thought, yeah.
Yeah, it was like, I recognize that name,
Yeah.
but
So I apologize.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah,
Thank you.
good. Mr. Lafreniere?
All set, thank you.
Jess?
Nope, nothing. Thank you.
Laura Kay?
I'm good, thanks.
Okay, Kim?
I'm good. Thank you, Armand, for bringing up the teacher shortage.
Yeah, it's real.
Yeah.
It's real.
It is so real in my life right now. So, yes.
Yeah, shout out to Kim and the admins for coordinating and trying to hire and to work. Yeah, and we have some really good quality candidates that we're very excited about. So we're very fortunate. Fingers crossed.
Shout out to Lisa Schimmels
Yes,
for
Lisa.
her paperwork because it's coming in fast and furious. So, and
Great.
keeping it straight is going to be tough. So,
Also, sorry.
What's that?
Thank you, everybody.
Thank
I
you.
won't even go to Marissa there. Motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
And we'll call it at 7:14.